when the film ends, you will hear either a beep or a rattle, and it says rewind immediately. So what you need to do is flip on the bottom, press on the R rewind button, just depress it, it will stay depressed, and then at the top we just switch this other button to the right, it's going to rewind. Now this button you should never try to force on it unless this other is depressed. That's one thing. The second thing, notice here the number of pictures. So this is a 36 positions frame film. I'm about at the 37 and I'm not going to keep shooting with it. Perhaps it has 38 or 39 photos, 2 more photos, 1 or 2 extra. I'm just going not to take those photos. Why? Because the moment when the film ends and the camera tries to advance the film, is going to pull on the film, and that's the rattle thing. That's when you hear the rattle thing or beep. What is a problem is that those plastic gears are very old. They are going to force against each other to pull the film, and they will break. And if you look online, majority of owners say my film, my camera just make a rattle noise, no longer works. So my advice is do not wait for the film to finish. If you have a 36 frames, maybe take 37 pictures and then, like I'm going to do right now, rewind the film manually. Before, just forget about 1 or 2 extra photos. If it's 24 positions, go to 25 and do the same thing. Don't wait for the camera to do that rattle noise or beep. So I did depress this, it stays depressed. I'm going just to switch this to the right. And notice what's happening here, it's rewinding back. And it takes a while, you need to have good battery. Notice the cover is on, and this is important to remember that this cover actually has a switch right here at the bottom. This is the actual on-off switch. Okay, and now at S, I'm going just to stop the rewind manually. S means the film has fully rewind inside the cartridge. I'm going to open now the door. So I was saying that this switch here is the on-off switch of the camera. If you don't keep the cap on, the camera will just draw the batteries. It's going to be always powered with the optical luminosity meter if you want, even if you don't shoot. So always keep the genuine original cover fully depressed in place so it pushes on that small button. The other thing is, again, you notice I'm waiting for the S to stay there, and notice the sound it makes like it's spinning faster because the entire film has been put inside the cartridge, and only when the entire film is fully inside the cartridge you can safely open the door and retrieve the cartridge. You need to absolutely wait for the S to appear and then give you 1 or 2 more seconds just to really just make sure there is no piece of film staying outside the cartridge. That last piece of film actually you already expose it when you put the film back into the camera for when the film is new, right? So just again, this one, it's S. Notice the R button, it's still depressed, but before I open the door I did switch this back to off. So now it's not the rewind, it's off. This is the rewind, actual rewind button. This is just a lock for this button here. Notice it's no longer with red here. So what I do here, I think I put a piece of tape. Why? Because sometimes you handle the camera to people who don't know about cameras, film cameras, and they say, hey, let me take a picture, takes you a picture, and then they say, hey, what's this button here? No! Too late. If they open the door while the film is there, and it not being put into the cartridge or while you are still taking pictures, mostly probably all the entire film is going to be lost, more or less. You can still try to develop, so just press downwards. So the entire film is now fully inside the cartridge. I can remove the cartridge. Notice how the cartridge sits in this camera. The tip is at the bottom. Just like this, like that. And when you have new film, you just place the film. I think I have a video showing this. You need to kind of rotate it and insert it a little bit in there, maybe 1-2 inch. And then once you finish this, you just close the door, and the camera should advance to photo number 1. If it doesn't advance to photo number 1, it means it didn't grab the film. You can safely open the door and just put the film some more in that position, in there, rotate it some more, and close the door, and then check if it does move to position number 1. But I think I had a film, a video with this. Let me show you. It makes a nice sound. Interesting. Let me show you this small pictogram here. Let me read. Place the leader on the takeoff spool as illustrated. Anyway, it says exactly what I just said. So just was a piece of film in there about this long. It's basically one frame that you will not lose, but about the length of the frame that you insert in there. And yes, when you place a new film with the film outside the cartridge, you will lose a few frames, 1, 2, or 3. That's normal, and that's actually included in the 36 or 24 positions. You may even actually take 1, 2 extra pictures. So let's close now the door. I'm not putting a new film in there. And just press down here to make sure the locks in place. Right now it's not locked. It's a bit stiff. Let's unlock it and press down. Better like this. Don't force. These are old stuff. So just unlock it, pull on it a little bit. Press down. Yeah, it's a bit fiddly. Just do a test. It has to be mostly flush. It's not really perfectly flush, but it's important, really important, to be closed properly. Otherwise, you get light, and there will be no photos. Basically, just make sure it stays in there. And up to the next time. I probably do a video with the photos from this camera. This is Hector 100. It's a 100 ISO film, so it's more fine, but it needs more light. And yeah, professional is more like doesn't. It's better than the 400, and it's much better than the 200. To me, the 200 Kodak was the worst. I mean, it was just poor quality in my opinion. 400, it's okay, but it's not as fine grain if you want, and it has more colors. This one, it's fine grain and also has more subtle colors, but more balanced colors. The 400 has kind of quite rich, some will say too rich colors. And don't forget that you need to adjust the ISO depending on your film. In this window we have ISO 100 because I did use ISO 100. You just rotate this sort of. Let's see, those are the options: 25, 64, 100, 204, 8. No, there is no 8. 1000. That's it. We'll see what's the next film going to be. This is the light meter here. And this is the switch that needs to stay depressed so you don't. And my final advice with this, and this is exactly what I do remove the batteries when I'm not using the camera. Why? Because batteries in there will always put some sort of a, I don't know, maybe capacitor or something like this. This is how you put the batteries. It keeps the capacitor or some other piece, old piece of circuitry always with power on it, and I don't want that. I just want the camera electronics to rest when I'm not using the camera. Basically, I put the battery, I keep it in a case, and I put the battery back in place only when I take pictures. That's how I keep it. And this is just regular 1.5 alkaline, could be non-alkaline or 1.5. I don't think it does take rechargeable 1.2 volts. I'm not sure, perhaps that's too low voltage. Made in Taiwan. Interesting. One last thing, so I did not put film in there, and at that moment this button is still depressed in there, and if I switch this, the batteries are in my hand. If I switch this, it does work. Of course the motor, it won't work because there's no power. But I believe that when you put a new film in there and just go to position 1, it will advance by itself. Only then this will pop up and this switch will be locked. You won't be able to press. And never force on this, right? Again, only when this one hits down, then you can move this to the right. Just be careful with this, you don't want to break its plastic.